Hey, I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you how I got to this little beauty here. This is a strategy that I designed for Bitcoin and Ethereum for the futures market. But let me give you a bit of context first. A while ago, I gave myself a challenge, and that was to create a fully automated trading bot that anyone could use for free. It is working well, about 20% in 5 months, not bad at all. I actually expect it to do wonders during the next bull run. But it is, however, a slow, long-term trading strategy on the spot market and with a daily chart. Check it here. So now I cracked up the challenge. I went for a daily trader strategy, which works on a 1-hour chart for the futures market and with textbook risk management. Let's start with a good glimpse at the strategy backtest results. You can see here I'm on BTC USDT futures contract on Bybit. Let me make that a bit bigger. And the first thing to notice is this nice, healthy, growing curve, which in total gave 204% profits and almost 200 trades. This backtest range is the standard one. It's the one you get when you do a backtest on a 1-hour time chart, so up to the beginning of the previous year. This means that this trading strategy on average places a trade every other day. And beyond this healthy upward growing profit curve, we can see that this trading strategy provides a nice win rate of 60% and a very healthy maximum drawdown below 15%. I've mentioned also that this strategy works well for Ethereum, so let's have a look at that. We also do get this healthy growing growth curve, but the total profits are a bit less than BTC, 135%. About the same number of trades, with a win rate slightly lower as well, and a maximum drawdown slightly higher, but still in the region of my personal comfort zone. I will anyway be running a bot on both of them, BTC and ETH. By the way, if you want to trade with Bybit, don't hesitate to use our registration link. It will give you some exclusive deposit rewards. Links in the description below. Anyway, back to our strategy. You know what? Let's actually build it together. This way you'll understand the reasoning behind it, its strength and its weaknesses, and you will be more able to use it and modify it to your liking. I will put this code on our GitHub, and if you have any comments, questions, or improvements you would like to share, please write them down in the comments below or join our community Discord. First things first, the strategy characteristics. So we'll be trading with 100% of the portfolio. This means that for each trade we enter, we use 100% of the funds available in this portfolio, and we will be using 0.06% for the trading fees. This is the standard fee for Bybit, one of the best on the market. Let's add our first indicator. This will be Bollinger Bands. And let me give you a little tip when you don't know the code of the indicator that you want to use. So you can simply add it to a chart. Let's do it here by clicking there. Let's type Bollinger Bands and we'll select this one. And then you come here and you click on these parentheses. This will show the source code. And what we're interested in is basically this here. So we can copy, come back to our strategy editor and paste. But let me rename this nicely the way I like it. And there we go. So the concept behind Bollinger Bands is pretty easy. You compute the standard deviation of the price of the asset over a given period, so this BB length that we'll fill in later on, and you compute the average of the price over this same period. And then to get the upper Bollinger Band, you basically take the average and then add the standard deviation that you computed here, displaced by a certain multiplier, which we will also fill in later on. And the same for the lower, but this time you displace below, so this time you do minus. You can think of Bollinger Bands as an envelope that traces trend and volatility. So 2 in 1. I really love them. Personally, I found that 100 for the period and 2 for the multiplier works well for BTC and ETH, but typically this is what you could change to adapt the strategy to different markets. Let's add them to the chart. And same tip, you can actually often find the source code of the plots as well here. But let me add it with the proper names that I chose here. There we go. So we can save and add to the chart. Indeed, we haven't written our rules yet, so we don't get any trades, but let's have a look at what we get here. And what we are aiming at is to simply enter when the price breaks above the upper Bollinger Bands for a long, and then exit at the best time possible. And the same for the shorts. We'll enter when the price breaks below the lower Bollinger Band and try to exit as the best time possible. And how does this translate in terms of signals? Well, I've added them here. We will only be allowed to enter long when the closing value of the candle is above the upper Bollinger Band. And conversely, for the short, we'll only be able to enter it when the closing value is below the lower Bollinger Band. Furthermore, for this strategy, I decided that the exits will be taken when the price crosses the middle of the Bollinger Band. So this purple curve that we can see here. Now let me simply add the part of the code that deals with the positions. And there we go, our strategy entry for the long and the short and the exits. Nice. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to click that like button. It takes a few seconds for you, but does a world of good for me. Consider subscribing too. Thanks a lot. This is actually not enough to guarantee a solid strategy. For BTC, you get a win rate a bit too low for my taste, just under 40%. And it gets worse for ETH, only 30%. So we're going to use a fundamental principle of trading. Momentum precedes price. Often, and for this we're going to use a special indicator, the Relative Strength Index, RSI in short. Before we carry on, please keep in mind that I don't give financial advice and trading is a risky endeavor. You can see that I've added the computation of the RSI here, and you should also note that I'm sticking to the standard value for the RSI, where it's computed over 14 periods. Let's add it manually to the chart. So RSI, and I'll come here, Relative Strength Index, close, and we see it here. Let me make that smaller. And actually the purple curve is the RSI, while the yellow curve is a smooth version of it, so a moving average computed over the RSI, but we won't need it. So let me simply remove it. And now we can indeed analyze that often the strong pumps, the ones that go above the upper Bollinger Band, will have the RSI that shows an overbought situation. So when the RSI is above 70, and you can see the opposite with the dumps. These will often have the RSI showing an oversold situation. So when it's below 30. But you could analyze that this doesn't happen always like that. And often only the very strong pumps and dumps are followed by this RSI component. So we'll use that to filter the good trades. If you're wondering why I'm using the RSI rather than the CCI, for example, you can check that video out. Anyway, so my take here now is to say that we'll be only allowed to enter along when on top of the previous condition, the RSI is overbought, and the same for the short, but when the RSI is oversold. This, if you want, forces the trade to really only take trades when the pumps and the dumps are strong. Okay, so let's see what we get. And ta-da, we've increased the win rate by a few percent. We've indeed filtered out a few trades, so those trades where the price and the momentum was not consistent, which in turn led to quite a significant increase in the profits. Nice, now we have the main structure of our strategy. Time to add risk management. I've added the part of the code that deals with the risk management here. So the stop loss price is defined as the entry price minus a multiplier times the ATR, so the average true range, which I've computed here, while the take profit price is the entry price plus the same ATR multiplier times the ATR divided by the risk reward ratio. Then note that there is a little conversion to able to compute the correct levels in terms of ticks to feed then the strategy exits that we have here with the loss and the profit for the long, and here the loss and the profit for the shorts. So what about this ATR multiplier? Well, I wanted to stick to a standard value that is 2. And then I found that the risk-reward ratio of 1 to 1.2 worked well for BTC and ETH. Now that we've gotten to this, a word of caution. These are the values that I found to be good rounders for BTC and ETH, the values that gave the results I presented at the beginning, but I could choose to tune them better to increase the profits. Could choose, for example, these. Let me save and show you what you get. And here you see that for BTC, I've increased the profits by a bit more than 20%, but there can be a problem with this approach. Now, if I show what I get for ETH, we've lost quite a lot in terms of profits, and the maximum drawdown has gone above this 25% that I generally use as my safe zone. So my point here is that when you play with parameters like this, it's always going to end up being a trade-off for your strategy between profits, risk, and its capacity to adapt to different markets. But really, you should be careful when trying to tune these parameters too much, because you run the risk of your strategy becoming overfitted. In fact, we all know that past performances never guarantee future results, and even a great trading strategy can sometimes fail because they couldn't factor in new market conditions. But we should at least check what this strategy does with different market trends. So far, we've been backtesting over this whole range, so since the beginning of 2022 until today. But really, what is often difficult to handle for trending strategies is those sideways market. So let's check what this strategy does over this range, which I've entitled sideways to bullish. So we're going to come back to our strategy, and you can see that I've added this little piece of code that allows me to select the backtest range. So I've picked this sideways to bullish, and we'll check what we get. We are currently looking at ETH, and you can see that it did have a bit of a hard time at the beginning, but then it managed to do something despite this sideways market. The overall profits on this period only are not that great, but we're definitely keeping a decent win rate and a very comfortable maximum drawdown. Let's have a look at BTC now. And we can have the same analysis at the beginning. The first few trades were not necessarily profitable, but very small losses. And then the strategy managed to make a bit of profits during the sideways market and really start cashing in when the market turned to more bullish. And again, you can see that the win rate is still very nice and the maximum drawdown very comfortable. Now let's check for the bearish market. So for this period here, so I'm going to save. And we get our very nice, healthy, growing curves with very nice statistics as well, with indeed a slight struggle at the beginning. Let's also check ETH. Here you can see that it was a bit more difficult at the beginning, although the variation is not too much. And the strategy finally managed to make some profits. And overall, the win rate is still very decent, and so is the maximum drawdown. And now the cherry on the cake is for BTC since the beginning of the year, with a very decent 20% profits in a few months, a good win rate, and a low maximum drawdown. Okay, it's been quite a lot of serious and technical talk for today. If you want to change, I can suggest this fun video I did down there, or maybe that one up there will be more to your liking. Thanks for watching. This was Robot Traders for you. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.